This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
You are correct. There's no question about that. I just look at a bunch of stuff, a bunch of headlines, really. I don't want to delve into a lot of the stories about them or whatever. I do have to ask you guys a question because I guess I don't really understand. I've been really not paying a lot of attention to the race for president, but I do look at the poll numbers once in a while.
Okay.
And of course, I tune into the national news that leans both ways. Apparently, neither Harris nor Trump can possibly lose. Now, I don't know how that's possible, that they both got it locked in and neither one of them can lose when one of them has to lose.
Co-presidency.
That'd be a great idea.
It's like the unstoppable force, immovable object. Neither one will budge an inch. We're going to be campaigning for all of time. We're locked in a dead heat. We're never gonna. Nobody's gonna cease fire here.
Right. It's like one of those cricket games or tennis matches that lasts like
John
3
Isner
days.
and Nicholas Mahoots.
I just don't understand the number. So they've been rigging the numbers forever. Is that what they're basically telling us?
Yeah, I think like one will just round up and the other rounds down, so that way
that's how it works.
Yeah, I don't trust the poll numbers.
I don't either.
And not that I don't trust them because they're being inflated. It's just they're not asking and getting responses from the correct people.
Right.
The people that are responding to those texts, like I've never once said, "Hey, yeah, thanks for reaching out. I appreciate it. Here's who I'm planning to vote." I don't do that. I delete or I reply stop immediately because it's always at the worst times too. It's like the door-to-door salesperson. It's right as like we're sitting down for dinner. Say that I'm in the middle of my workday. I'm doing other stuff. And it's like, hey, it's Jim with America Now. Do you have time? No, Jim, I don't. This is the worst possible time.
And
I don't
also,
want to tell you.
how did you get my number?
Yeah, that too.
Well, everybody's got your number.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you guys, it just struck me yesterday by coincidence again, and you're bringing up numbers. And that stuff happens to me all the time. I think about something and the next day it pops up. When I was a kid until I was about probably 35 years old, your name, address, and phone number were in the phone book.
Yep.
Can you imagine everybody knew where you lived and what your phone number was? How would they ever trust people with that much information?
That is one. There's a lot of things in like old movies that I watch.
Right,
I'm like, this whole movie is avoided if you just have cell phones or something along those lines. Nowadays, it's like, how are we going to track him down? Well, if this was the 80s, you could just open up the phone book.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, here's exactly where they live.
And they mailed you a new one like once a year. Like, hey, your friend moved. Here's his new address. Like,
can you believe people actually were safe with that book floating around town?
Because then didn't you have to pay to not have your name in the phone book? Because
I don't know.
I feel like I had a friend who his dad was like not a celebrity or anything like that, but known around town, and they paid to get their name out of the phone book.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't understand how that idea was ever passed. Like, hey, we're going to put not only your name, your real name, and we're going to put down your exact address, where you live in which city, and then we're going to put your phone number there.
Right.
And then your social security.
Social security, how much money? Can we get a list of all the valuables in your house? Like,
approximately how much do you make before taxes? Let's put that there too.
I think you could pay to have your name left out. I think you might be right about that. So I don't want my name in there. Well, then you're going to have to pay for it. It's like, why do I have to pay you to do nothing for me?
You don't want us to tell all of Minneapolis where you live exactly?
Yeah.
Makes no sense whatsoever. None whatsoever. But what the hell? We keep moving forward. I cannot believe this. We are less than 2 weeks from Halloween already.
What are you going to dress up as?
Oh, kids. Should I go? I will go as my first, and I can picture myself in that outfit right now. I was 4 or maybe even 3 years old. I might have been 3 about to turn 4. Well, yes, I was 3 about to turn 4 because my birthday is a week after Halloween. My mom said you can buy whatever costume you want over at Kennesaw Drugstore, right across the street. And then I said, okay. So I went in and I wanted to buy a devil costume. It was a devil. She went, so you want to go, nice little Catholic boy, you want to go dressed as the devil. I said, yeah, it's scary for Halloween. It's scary. I'll be scary. One thing it was kind of scary as it turns out. And if I do it again, I probably won't do this part of it. For about half my trick-or-treating, the back door opened and my butt was hanging out the entire last half of trick-or-treating. So
what's scarier than that, though?
well, exactly. A 3-year-old kid's butt, about to turn 4. No question. I've always loved Halloween. Is that a Catholic thing? Do I love Halloween because of Catholicism, or is it just a great holiday anyway?
I don't know. I think it's a great holiday. I mean, especially as a little kid, you just get to go door to door and get candy. You're staying up late, watching maybe some scary movies that you don't normally get to watch.
And then the guy at the door asking if you're a Catholic or a Protestant, and if you're Catholic, he wouldn't give you any candy. I mean, that kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I would like to someday have a show where we invite people to call in, write in. The 3 of us have a couple other people, and talk about all the prejudices in the world against all sides. It's got to be in the millions.
I mean, that show would never end.
Yeah, the show would never end.
It's a telethon.
I mean, the racism going in every direction, the judgment about this, about that, about the other thing. I bet you're right. The show would never end. Here's another thing that's wrong with you.
Yep.
One of those deals.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in any case, yeah. So I once again on the way out here, I do absolutely love Halloween. There's no question about it. Even though we got robbed, Mike, Devitt, and I got robbed when I think I was 4 years old. That maybe I might have been 5 then. But yeah, got robbed. I've never heard of anybody else. I went through some stuff, which, by the way, that for some reason I might have been too young. That didn't scare me. I just didn't understand why he wanted my candy. It's like, I didn't realize he was actually threatening us because I was too young to know he was threatening us, right? So I'm like, okay, well, you can have my candy, but why do you need my candy?
Yeah.
I just couldn't figure it out.
How far I walked to get all this candy?
So then my mother went to the store and bought about 3 bags of those little Hershey squares or rectangles or whatever they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nothing but chocolate the rest of the night, so that was good.
There you go.
Any good movies coming out for Halloween this year? I mean, Terrifier. Everybody's saying Terrifier 3 is psychotic.
That's AJ's favorite movie.
Ugh,
you did see it?
No, I have not.
No,
I have not.
No.
I don't think I can stomach it. I was telling Tevin at some of the premieres they were handing out sick bags.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, essentially it's just a torture porn.
See, I don't like torture porn.
Yeah, I would say, like, if you watch the first one, like, it is pretty gruesome, but it's more like indie, smaller, and that's a good palate cleanser for it. As weird as that sounds, but then if you want to take the next step to 2 and then 3, but I don't think I don't have any plans to watch 3 anytime soon.
I've never seen. I've seen about 10 minutes of 1, but I've never seen 2 at all. The beginning of 1 is not that interesting. It's just the typical psychotic looking clown in a diner or something.
Yep.
Yeah. So that does it get any better?
It gets a lot more gruesome.
Well, gruesome. Yeah. There you go.
Yes.
But yeah, new movies. It looks like Smile 2.
Yep. Smile 2.
That one looks pretty good.
That's porn. That's
it's the one where
stuff too,
it's like where if they have like the smile on their face, they're gonna die or something.
And I didn't see the first one of this, so I want to preface it with that. I saw great reviews about that, which I was shocked by because I was annoyed by the ad campaign of sending a person to like a baseball game and they sit behind the home plate and they like have the smile on. I've heard this new one also is fantastic. So maybe I need to check them out. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, those are pretty good. Otherwise, there's Salem's Lot that came out.
That was good.
Sting, Hold Your Breath. So yeah, we got some options for some scary Halloween movies.
And I think
The Mousetrap on Peacock.
The Mousetrap. What is that?
I don't know, but it's got a very terrifying Mickey Mouse guy looking at it. So
All right.
I do like that stuff. God, we only got a couple of weeks left to book all of our other Halloween buddies.
Yeah,
we call in every year to tell Art to get off his. Let's go, Art.
Come on, Art.
You know where I've got the tone of the way he hangs up, whether we went too long or not.
Yeah, it does feel like the click. Somehow he turns the volume up on the click of the phone.
He does, doesn't he? Oh, we were too long there. I can tell by the sound of the click, which is rather odd, I suppose, but such is life. We have got some sports to talk about. I did not look at well, no, I guess I did.
Oh, did you see either of those baseball games last night?
I saw a couple of minutes of the Yankee Cleveland game, and that did surprise me.
That was an awesome finish.
That was an amazing thing because neither team gave up.
No, yeah.
They just got up to that plate, kept hitting it, and the best team that night won.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it should be. We will talk about that with was Sid Hartman on with us? Is that who it is?
Something like that.
The next Sid Hartman, some have said.
Oh, the greatest we call it. Bernard, I'm calling from heaven. Yeah, they let Jews in here. I could just listen to Sid say stuff like that. We'll take a break and be right back. Speaking of nice Jewish boys, does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety from wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track. Your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, kind of like right now. And he'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice. Yeah, his compliments to me are never sugar-coated either. You ever notice that?
Oh, no, there's nothing sweet about that, man.
Or me.
Or you.
Thank you. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold, investment consultant, LLC security investment advisor. Past performance, no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
This is Brett Paul from Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley. We've always had a professional sales staff on our show floors, but recently have added a few more to the arsenal. Neil Hadding was a salesperson at Valley for over 2 decades. Probably the best truck guy around. He left for a management position elsewhere, but decided to kick back and return to work with thousands of his old friends and customers. It's a similar story with Tim Condon. He spent many years in the sales and finance at Valley before spending time in Alaska, to the relief of many, many friends and customers who returned a few years back. Not a returnee, but a welcome addition to our seasoned staff is Charlie Fink. Charlie followed Neil to Apple Valley to head up the finance department. He is well known to many Twin City car customers after being in the business for over 3 decades. If you're looking for a familiar face or just the face of experience, visit one of these professionals at Jim Paul's Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley or Hastings, or at valleycardealers.com.
When's that hammerhead coming in to do the show? I told him to get in here and do the show.
I'm still waiting to hear back.
Jim Paul. Typical.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a second to talk about my bank. That'd be North American Banking Company. You've heard me talking about them for a long time now. I just talked to Bilski yesterday, as a matter of fact. When they opened in 1998, they made a promise to deliver a better banking experience for their customers, where you know your banker and they know you. Well, a lot has changed since 1998. This commitment to being a true community bank in the Twin Cities has not. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Go to nabanco.com or stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Oh, I got to get my sports voice on here. St. Thomas football heads for Indiana.
Wow. Is that how they do it? I didn't know that they just did the empty bottle thing for the movie trailers. Okay.
That's exactly right. That's on the Cumulus budget. And now, here we are at the stadium. In any case, next up, a battle with Valparaiso. I thought it says here Valparaiso. It's Valparaiso, I thought.
I've always heard Valparaiso.
What did you hear?
I thought it was Valparaiso.
So we've got 3 different pronunciations here.
I know
Valparaiso?
I know it's not Valparaiso.
Okay.
Valpo. Let's go with Valpo.
Yeah.
We'll go with Valpo. That works. Pre-game at 12:30, kickoff at 1 o'clock on 1500 ESPN at 1500ESPN.com. Bringing you, of course, ladies and gentlemen, the lovely and talented Phil Mackey.
Yes, hold your applause. Yes.
Because yesterday I called Judge lovely and talented, so I had to do it for you too.
Well, it's a good compliment. I don't think either one of us are lovely at all and only mildly talented enough to have microphones in front of us every day.
That's why we all ended up in radio and podcasting, ladies and gentlemen. Although in TV, you have to have even less talent if you're cute.
That is true.
You know, I've always wondered about TV. Like we're the idiots on the radio podcast side. Sit here doing like 3-4 hours of content every day. Mm-hmm. If you're in TV sports, you're on TV for like 11 minutes a day.
Yep.
And then you're just I don't know, the rest of the day, are you putting together your notes, eating lunch, I don't know, 11 minutes, 12 minutes a day versus 3-4 hours? We're the idiots. That's the moral here.
You know what's amazing about that whole thing? And I'm and you can't lie if you agree with me. No lying. Okay. Have you noticed, because I've worked for many different broadcasting companies, television, radio, podcasting, all the rest of it, all of this stuff, right? Worked at Capitol Records, delivering product to the radio stations and all that stuff. Who are the biggest pricks in radio or television? And not all of them. Some of them are really great guys and women. But if there's a prick, I guarantee it's the sports guy.
I mean, I'm not going to fully disagree with you on that, Tom. I'm not going to fully disagree.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if it's like ego, if it's, hey, I'm in locker rooms. I am the one talking with the head football coach, asking the tough questions that fans want to know. I don't know. It's a good question, but I can't fully disagree with you.
Now, again, some of the best people are also in the same business. But yeah, I mean, that's true. It's the worst and the best, and then the rest of us kind of stuck in the middle here on this one. But I've never understood why it is, and I'll lay it out here for you. And again, some of them are the nicest people in the world.
Yeah, sure.
There's no getting around that. I'll give you an example. Mark Rosen would be one of the nicest people in the world who have this job. Biggest pricks on television are some of the sports guys. Why is that?
And maybe there's some insecurity. I don't know. We should do a study on that. I mean, we're perfect, so we can throw stones and
absolutely
take shots at people.
And look, like I said, I could name many, many sports guys and women that I really do like. They're very nice people. But if you're going to put together 10 television news people, the biggest prick's going to be a sports guy.
And you rank them based on the prick factor. Yeah.
The prick factor. That's exactly right. There's no question about it. Now, there are no pricks in radio, of course. They're all really good people.
No, man, I was so close to telling an anecdote, but I can't. It hits too close to home. I can't. I literally cannot. I will be fired if I tell an anecdote. But you're not entirely wrong. Company. You're not entirely wrong.
We'll pool our dough and we'll buy the queue. We'll just take over.
I mean, I don't know that that's a growth business either.
Well, you might be right about that, ladies and gentlemen.
There might be other ways to spend 7 figures or 6 figures. I'm not quite sure.
For that matter. Yeah, that's very, very true. So I did watch some of that Yankee Cleveland game last night. I knew I couldn't stay away much longer because I do love baseball, but I was so pissed off at the Twins having a horrible year. They never even tried all year. And I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about the ownership. Yeah. They need to sell that team.
I'm glad you brought this game up because that was one of the great games in sports, any sport, of the 2024 calendar year. And it was, if you're a Guardians fan, it was joyous. I think if you're just a neutral baseball fan or a fan that just wants the Yankees to suffer, it was one of the great joyous nights. But I'll tell you, I have so much Twins PTSD and trauma that my first thought when Noel was the last name of the batter who hit the game-tying home run, the Big Christmas they call him.
The Big Christmas, yep.
My first thought was, damn you, Pohlads. You robbed us of postseason moments like this.
That's right.
My first thought was like bitterness toward the Twins when he hit that home run to tie it.
Well, again, I mean, I just, and when you look back, I feel kind of bad for you guys because you were old enough, but you probably weren't mature enough to understand how wonderful it was when the Twins won that World Series in 1987. I mean, how old were you even born yet?
And when?
What
87?
year?
Oh, 87? No, I was born 92.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So you weren't even around for, you were around for you were a 1-year-old.
Yeah, technically, but.
And you're way younger than he is.
Yeah, he was born in like.
I was 2. I was 2 years old.
but yeah, I am younger than Devin.
Yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
And yesterday was the 37th anniversary of Game 1 of the 87. I saw something come across my Twitter timeline. It was the 2.5-minute ABC Sports intro where Al Michaels delivered like a 2-minute sort of scripted setup for the game. First ever World Series game played indoors. And then they cut to the crowd and they compare the noise of the crowd to a jet taking off on the tarmac.
Right.
And Dan Gladden hit the grand slam in like the 5th inning of that game to break it open.
Turned the camera and said, God, I hate Barnard. And then ran down to first base.
Yeah. A couple times. He said it when he was rounding third too.
Oh, that's what I heard. I had heard that was probably good. You know, that second World Series the Twins won, I had to do an appearance during the broadcast of the 7th game, not for the game, for something else. So on the way home from my appearance, I stopped by old Mama G's out there. And you remember Mama G's, don't
you?
So
I grew up very close to Mama G's. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
My dad, before it burned down in like 1995, and they rebuilt it smaller. Right. My dad and I used to go there every Wednesday night to play pool, video games, eat some patty melts, watch some baseball. Great spot.
Well, it's a trifecta because Jesse Ventura lived right across the street.
Yep.
My daughter fell off the swing and broke her arm. And then the other one was I went to Mama G's to watch Game 7 of the Twins World Series number 2 they were in. Or they won.
Yeah.
World Series number 2. The guys there and the women there had been drinking for most of the game. You could kind of tell because by the time the Twins won that game and these excited, intoxicated fans were done with their happiness spitting in my face, they didn't know they were doing it. But you know, when you get hammered, you got all that liquid in you and you start screaming, it's like, yeah. I, honest to God, I had to get a squeegee and squeegee off the noggin about every 5 minutes. That was a hell of a memory, though. I will tell you that.
Were you wearing glasses? Just the little windshield wipers on your glasses?
I had the windshield wipers going. It was a joyous moment. God, looking back at Mama G's, though. Ooh.
I love that place.
I did, too. I absolutely loved Mama.
They had the lounge area to the right and then the bar area on the left.
So
that was the Cruisin' USA, one of the first Cruisin' USA video games where you sit down in the car.
Yep. What's there now? There's a building there still, isn't there?
Mama G's is still there.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God, I got to get in there.
It burned down maybe twice in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
And they've it's now just like a bar. There's not like a lounge area. But there's more square footage, maybe times 3 for volleyball courts, outdoor volleyball.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's one of the biggest outdoor volleyball recurring leagues in the state, I'm pretty sure. And so that's kind of what in the summertime, they're just packed with volleyball people.
It was always so much fun. No doubt about it. A lot of fun going.
Would Jesse Ventura ever walk over there for a burger?
Back when he and I used to get along, I think we went over there a couple of times. Mostly it was Mr. Bob's, which turned into, what is it by the Crystal Airport again? It was Mr. Bob's, and then it turned into, I think it started with a G, something like that. But that's where those guys mostly hung out. The professional wrestlers hung out over there on West Broadway and Crystal.
Okay. Did you see, by the way?
Rostamos, that was the name of it. Rostamos Bar.
Rostamos?
Yep.
Now that Vince McMahon's out of the picture for WWE. Yes. So Jesse Ventura was essentially estranged from that company for 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't think he and Vince McMahon saw eye to eye. But they're doing, I don't know what the date is, but they're bringing back on NBC the Saturday night main event primetime. They're going to do like one or two of these. They used to have these in the 80s and the 90s. And Jesse Ventura is coming back to do commentating for the special. He's one of the great wrestling commentators of all time.
Yes, he is. You cannot take that away from Jesse. Well, he's a damn good storyteller because he's so emotional.
Yeah.
No, he is. You can't take that away from Jesse. I mean, the guy's nuts. Don't get me wrong. But he's damn good at that.
He should have stuck with, I almost feel like he should have just stuck with wrestling for the entire time. He wasn't he living in Mexico for like 20 years?
He was down there on the California, whatever that thing is called. What's that thing that's under the state of California again? I know they call it
like the little
Gold Coast.
the tail. Yeah,
It's the tail. That's where he goes, is to the tail of that. What the hell's that called again? I got friends that live there.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the map here. Let's just scroll down. Like down by Tijuana, kind of. Are you talking
about Baja?
Yeah,
The
the
peninsula?
Baja, the
Yeah.
Baja Peninsula.
Baja,
There you go. That's
California.
exactly right.
Okay.
But they call it the Gold Coast too, and all the rest of it. And
Yeah, Baja, California, down there.
Baja,
Okay.
California, and it's actually part of Mexico. It's not part of the United States.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like south of Tijuana and
Yeah.
north of all the vacation spots. Basically,
You ever been to Tijuana?
never dabbled in Tijuana. No.
I went in about 2 feet. Went, this is not for me. Turned around and walked right back over the border. It's like, nope.
Okay, we'll just be going back.
We
Going back
I
to
ain't going in
California,
there, man.
back to San Diego. Okay.
No question about it. So I don't know, man. So look, we got a big game coming up. This team is 5-0. We didn't expect them to be 5-0. This is a pretty tough game. The Lions are not bad.
No, in fact, we talked about this sort of impromptu yesterday on Purple Daily. We think this is the biggest game ever between the Vikings and Lions in terms of
No
how
doubt.
good both teams are.
No doubt.
Because, first of all, the Lions are slim pickings for seasons in which they're actually good or playoff caliber.
Right.
But this is,
True.
they had Barry Sanders in the 90s, and they were like a 9 or 10 win team a couple times, but they were never considered best team in the NFC caliber.
No.
This is the Lions are legitimately last year and this year considered one of the 3 or 4 best teams in the NFL, which the last time you can say that about the Lions was 1957,
Yeah.
before the Vikings existed.
Yep.
So this is, the Vikings started in 1960, right? 1960, 61.
Mhm.
This is the first time both these teams have met in the 60 plus years of playing each other, where they're both considered 2 of the 5-ish best teams in the NFL.
First time ever.
It's crazy.
God,
Yeah.
it's amazing. That's the part of football too, because it's a once a week event. That makes it, the fact that it's only played once a week makes it even more special, I think. You know?
It's tension building.
Yes. Yep.
Because baseball, it's like, we lost a heartbreaker at 10 o'clock p.m., but there's a getaway game at noon the next day, and you're just on to the next. In football,
Yep.
it's the conversation, the anxiety, and the anticipation.
Yeah, the
More than anything else.
overanalyzation of every minor detail. Like, well, if we run our outside zone plays to the perfection, we might be able to win this. And it's people just overanalyze everything, and so that buildup that you get every week just makes
Yeah.
everything a little bit more heightened.
You know?
The game time is noon.
The game time is noon, which is kind of a travesty because
Yeah.
this is one of the best games. In fact, this weekend we've got Vikings Lions at noon, tucked away. Packers and Texans are 2 of the 7 best teams in the NFL. They play at noon. And then we get Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl rematch at 3. It's a pretty big weekend of football here.
Yeah,
Gentlemen.
well, they've gotten a little bit of the spotlight has been put on Kansas City this year. Every game they got is like the game of the week, for Christ's sake.
A lot of pressure. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
Taylor Swift up there watching, judging.
Okay, now you brought it up, so now you might never get out of here. I'm sitting down to watch the news this morning, seeing who's horrible and who's just
Mhm.
kicking ass, and what a horrible, racist, terrible human being that our presidential candidates are, and all the rest of it. I got so upset I forgot what I was going to talk about.
Taylor Swift, your favorite
Oh.
Taylor Swift album.
They're running promos for the new game show on TV, sponsored by Travis Kelce.
Yeah, let's
Please
go.
host.
Yeah.
Are you bullshit? He's horrible.
What do you mean he's horrible?
Terrible. Have you ever seen him do it?
He's entertaining.
Oh God.
The show hasn't started yet, so I don't think we can officially judge.
Yeah,
No,
you're
okay.
casting early judgment here, Tom. Okay.
Shame on you,
Well, I'm
Tom.
Catholic. It's in my blood.
And allegedly,
You came out of the womb judging.
I did. It's true. Yeah.
and allegedly, if you do want more Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, Brittany Mahomes, they are potentially
Everybody
releasing
needs
a WAGs show, Wives and Girlfriends of the Kansas City Chiefs,
Oh, God.
on Bravo, I believe.
No.
Is
I can't wait to see how much in the trailer and like the commercials Taylor Swift is advertised, and then she's on there for like 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah,
she's
Right.
not-
Yeah.
she's got way more important things to do.
I
Yeah.
I saw that promo this morning. Are you pulling my tit? Really?
Ugh.
That's the best you can do. Well, look who took over for Pat Sajak. What's his name?
Who did
take over?
All that lame ass. He already had a TV show.
Wait, wasn't it
Ryan Seacrest?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Wait, Seacrest took over for Sajak?
Yeah,
on Wheel of Fortune.
So
I feel like we have a Seacrest oversaturation here. Okay,
Yeah.
let's calm down on Seacrest.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Way too much Ryan Seacrest, he has no talent at all at anything, but he's cute.
Remember when he tried to high five that blind guy?
Oh, yes. So that is true that he is going to be the host of Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Oh,
How much money is Ryan Seacrest pulling from that Wheel of Fortune gig?
this is going to really piss somebody.
30, 20, 25 mil?
Enough to buy a vowel or two.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they record it all in like 2 months. So it's like 2 months of semi-intense hosting work.
28 million per year, roughly.
Dude.
For hosting Wheel of Fortune.
For Ryan,
Which is
Seacrest.
almost double Pat Sajak's old Wheel of
What?
Fortune.
Pat Sajak was getting screwed.
Yeah.
It's almost double what AJ makes, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Wasn't it? I think I read somewhere. Didn't what's her name? Savannah White.
Vanna. Is her real name Savannah and it's shortened to Vanna? Yeah.
Probably.
Maybe. Vanna White.
We can go with that.
I think she stayed on after the transition, but then after like a month of working with Seacrest, she's like, I think I'm gonna retire.
Boy, look at the time.
So I think that tells you all you need to know.
Can you believe that, though? Honestly, God, Ryan Seacrest on Wheel of. I used to love Wheel of Fortune. I used to love Pat Sajak. Although one time I was talking to Pat Sajak off the air. We're not. He's on the show, but we're off the air at this point. So I'm talking about what's the latest, blah 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 blah. And I said, "Oh, I saw that article about you yesterday." He goes, "What article?" I said, "They did some article about. I can't even remember the publication." I said, "They were talking about your personal life." And he goes, "Oh God, I wish they wouldn't do that." And I said, "Well, they were kind of nice to you because they talked about how much money you're worth." And he goes, "Oh God, what did they say?" And so I gave him the number, and he goes, "I said, so is that accurate?" He goes, "I don't know."
I have so much money. I don't have any idea.
That guy made how much dough did he make? He made over the last 30 years. What did he make? About $600 million.
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
Oh, God. He was good though. You got to admit he was very good at that.
Excellent at his job. Legendary.
It's true. I'll miss him, no question, no doubt about it.
Well, I think we solved the world's problems here, gentlemen. I think we solved the world.
All right, so we'll talk to you again on Monday, or is it a special holiday for all Mackeys on Monday?
No, I think
Mackey Monday. Oh, yeah, baby. I love it.
I'm gonna binge about 3 horror movies on Saturday night. I heard you guys talking about some of them, and then Sunday football.
That's pronounced horror. Okay.
Horror.
I don't know what's about your horror movies.
Just binge watching horror movies.
I'm gonna mix and match some horror movies and some horror movies and see what happens.
Yeah, there you go.
What about the horror movies?
Oh,
those are the best ones. Those are the 80s slasher ones. Yeah.
Yes.
We should make a movie and just call it horror.
There you
That's
go.
a great name for it. Nobody'd ever forget that name. I'll tell you what.
It sounds like a franchise to me. Multiple sequels.
Behave, pal. We'll talk to you Monday.
See you guys.
Thanks a lot. Phil Mackey, SKOR North, ladies and gentlemen. What?
So multiple sequels of the horror.
Multiple
show, yeah.
sequels. We got to do horror.
Yeah. It's the
Horniverse.
Yeah. Like,
Horniverse. I like it.
Horniverse.
There we go.
Horniverse, horrorverse. I like it.
We'll workshop it.
I'm sure all the people of Welshire are going to be real happy I segued right into their spot. So what I'll do is go, ooh, boy, this stuff is delicious. It's really good, and it's got wild cherry in it. Okay, it's time for a break now, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tom for Welshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities. Welshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities are a place where your loved one will live with pride and dignity. It's very important. If you care deeply about someone in your life, Welshire is the place I highly recommend. Welshire is a memory care focused facility that has a full nursing team, always staffed within the building. And that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have never used or relied on any staffing agencies. Welshire of Medina is now accepting elderly waivers after 12 months of private pay. I know them personally, and they are family-owned, local company, conveniently located right in Medina and Bloomington. They're the best staff memory care facility in the state, Welshire. has a robust community with activities 7 days a week. And I've said this many, many times, and I'll say it every time. Very nice family. Known them forever. If your loved one is in need of a memory care facility, please get in touch with my friends at Wellshire. Set up a tour or learn more at wellshiremn.com. That's WEALSHIREMN.com.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they taught you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
Mike Lindell, MyPillow employees, want to thank my listeners for all your continued support. Although I've been asking Dawn to come on the show. She still hasn't popped up, so, you know, typical. Here, let me turn my back so you can stab me right in the back.
Come on, Don.
You know what I'm saying. When Mike started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, they now have hundreds of products, some you may not even know about. For example, the brand new 4-pack dish towels, just $25. 6-pack towel sets, just $25. Bed sheets for as low as $25. Check out the Overstock closeout sale and save up to 80% off select items. Looking for a good night's sleep? Well, take advantage of the classic collection on a variety of MyPillows for as low as $9.88. These amazing offers won't last long, so order now. Just go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. Oh, you at the house kind of taking it easy, kicking back, are you?
Yep, kicking back.
Do you ever work anymore?
Well, I took a lot of Fridays off, planning on traveling for football games, but
oh, that's too bad.
Hasn't gone the way we'd hoped. But
how's he doing?
He's doing fine, but concussion's still being problematic. So
I understand, man.
But I'm not giving that. Listen, I'm not giving the day back. It's too many things had to be taken care of. So. Yep. So a great day to sleep in. I normally wake up at 3 a.m. I think I slept in until 4:30 today.
Look at you.
Wow.
Oh, 4:30, man.
You rascal.
And I remember those days doing the KQ morning show for 5.5 or 5 hours. I guess it was 5:15, getting up at 3:15 in the morning. Boy, that was fun.
Yeah. I look forward to the day when my body clock doesn't automatically wake me up at 3 o'clock.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway,
Yep.
How are you guys?
Magnificent. Oh, look, we're not going to offer this to many people. Maybe you, Bob Sansevere, maybe Lammers and Kristen Burke too. I'm not really sure. We're starting a new production company. Okay. And it's going to be for scary movies about prostitutes.
Oh yeah, the horror films.
Horror films, yes.
It seems like that should have been done already.
Don't you think? I mean, you combine the two, don't you?
Yeah.
Tom from Horror, bringing you.
I'll be honest. I was scanning through the TV the other day and Texas Chainsaw Massacre came up. As I've gotten older, I don't have anything to do with horror movies. I just don't. It doesn't appeal to me. I just don't like it.
Did you like them when you were a kid?
Yeah, I think I liked them a little bit better, but I think when you're a kid, you're sort of, I don't know, you're so dumb to like the universe that stuff seems so far-fetched, but you know, like you're older and as an adult and it just like you look at it an entirely different way. I don't know.
One of the great gifts in life. You got to look back at, if you had troubles and, if you got to look back at the gifts, and again, go into the Broadway, Empress, the, Paradise Theater, whichever theater it was in North Minneapolis. If you went to a horror film, the dazzling urbanites in the audience would contribute to the movie. like you would see the scary mansion in Psycho, you know that mansion?
Yep.
As the woman's walking up the stairs, about 10 guys go, "Don't go in there, girl." That added so much to the movie. It made it it made it even more fun.
I like going to a movie in a theater where the crowd's like into it. I agree.
Yes.
I know some people get really pissed about that. I like it actually.
Like how and like what's it? The Rocky Mountain Horror, is that the one where they like throw stuff at the screen and?
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Horror Picture. Oh yeah.
There we go. Okay.
What is it?
Rocky Horror Picture.
Rocky Horror Picture. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the one where they light up a cigarette and they throw a tissue or. It
Yeah.
used to be at midnight at the Uptown every weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a bunch of like like crowd, I guess, participation involved in it. And it's always a big spectacle. People dressing up and stuff.
That's what I hear. No question about it. And of course, I went to it one time. I bring, of course, mentioning the dazzling urbanites that I grew up with. Hey, we should go to this. You go, all right, I'll go to it with you. But I mean, is it fun? I think that's a lot of fun. You have a really good time. The movie starts. They start with the throwing the this and the doing the that. He goes, "Hey," that loud. Stands up, looks around, he goes, "Stop that shit." Like, oh, okay. All right. And they did. Yeah, exactly. Well, he was only about like 6'7", so he wasn't intimidating at all.
I got you.
God, he did not like it that people were hitting him with things. He did not like that at all.
That's fair. That's fair.
So what else is going on in the news? Anything good?
Donald Trump was on Fox and Friends. I don't know if that.
Oh yeah.
On the couch for about 45 minutes and talked with them. I was trying to think of what came out of that conversation that we sort of hadn't heard before.
Right.
They asked him specifically about Nikki Haley and who was his friend at one point, and then she decided to run for the nomination. She didn't get it. I guess she said publicly that she would do more groundwork for him and advocate for him if he were to reach out. And so I think it was Brian Kilmeade asked her about it, or asked Trump about it this morning on Fox and Friends. And Trump sort of gave a very Trump answer. He's like, yeah, I mean, I guess we could talk to Haley and find out, blah, 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 blah. He goes, but the reality is I just beat her so bad that, and then he's just kind of,
why? Why?
Instead of, he just, I don't know how else to say it other than Trump gonna Trump. Like he just.
Yeah. That's one thing about him. Trump is, it's the cameras and the microphone. Because I'll tell you again, I've been in his presence. He's not like that at all in person. Not even
when he's in friendly territory like that. He's on Fox News.
Yeah,
obviously it was not a very it was a friendly conversation. I mean, the guy's a charming dude when he wants to be. You can tell that. You can't be in business and be an asshole 24/7. You've got to have the charm too. And he definitely had the charm turned on this morning. So
well, he's a very giving person. I don't know much about Kamala Harris and the giving and all the rest of it, but he's given a lot of money to a lot of people to help them out. So that's nice.
I think locally, one of the Lynx are playing tonight. They're like in a must-win game tonight. Yeah. I did see that they're taking the razor wire and some of the fences down. Yeah. Police precinct. Other than that, it looked like it was kind of a quiet night last night, from what I could tell. So that's good.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, that's good. That is a good thing because we're going into Halloween and people do get jacked up in that week of Halloween. There's no doubt about that.
They do. I'm back on my bandwagon about that Halloween should always be on a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's not this year, but just think how much. There's no reason it couldn't just be the last Saturday of October, right?
100%. Nobody cares that it's on the 31st or not.
I wouldn't think so.
No.
Except for it's 1 week before my birthday, so it's kind of special to me. It's the birthday marker for me.
Well, and that's the day of the month, though.
Spookiest day of the month. That's my birthday, not Halloween.
I'm with you, AJ, but I don't know. It's kind of dumb. Halloween during the week sucks.
Yeah, Halloween. I was more joking about that. Halloween is like it doesn't need to be like Easter's always on a Sunday. Halloween should always be on a day where there's no work involvement or engagements like the day after.
Like
Friday night, Saturday night, absolutely. That's what it should be.
I agree 100%. But then you realize all the kids that are ringing your doorbell, the doors will be answered by drunken men.
Yeah, but
on a Saturday night.
Hey, more candy going their way then.
Or punch in the mouth.
Well, if the little bastards deserve it,
That is true. Shouldn't have been talking shit.
Shouldn't have scared them. Shouldn't have dressed up that well.
I love that. I love that the most. There's no question about it. All right, Pally. So we'll just keep forging ahead and go Vikings.
Go. Yeah, a big game on Sunday against Detroit. Very big.
This one scares me.
Yeah, I do. I agree. I feel like we're due for a loss too. So
I like the Lions a lot more when like Alex Karras played there because they never won and he always ripped them when they didn't win. I loved it.
Yeah, that's a blast from the past.
No, certainly is. All right, well, have a great weekend sitting on your ass.
I will. Thank you.
He doesn't even deny it. I love that. All right, perfect. Thank you. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk. Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation. 952-925-5608. Nice Italian boy, Sandy, will be coming up next. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and chip issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
I'm talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, business owners have had to deal with a lot over the last few years, haven't they?
They sure have, Tommy. We pride ourselves on being able to help our customers with the challenges they face.
Our business bankers are experts and are always ready to help our customers capitalize on opportunities and solve problems.
Loan decisions come quickly because they're made here in the Twin Cities and not shipped out of state like at some of the national banks in town.
This allows our customers to expand their businesses with confidence, knowing that they have our team of experts in their corner.
Okay, so now you give me this big thing at the end. Way to go.
Well, you are the professional.
Oh, I forgot. Look, I know Brad and Mike, and I trust them with my banking. They've personally delivered on everything they've just said. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Yes, you are, ladies and gentlemen. And more importantly, you're listening to the brilliance of Bob Sansevere.
Oh, Blake. Can't live up to that one. Here he comes. I could see him. I could hear him. He's sprinting to get back to the seat.
Bob, you're not wearing a hat. What happened?
I took a shower. I bathed.
Well, that's right. It's October.
Is it already that time of the month?
My hairline, I got to puff it forward a little bit because it's slicked back from the bathing pot.
From the bathing pot.
Yeah.
So, Sandy, big week coming up.
Oh, unbelievable week come. Oh, the Lynx and this game Sunday is every week it seems like we'll find out how good they are. Well, this one we'll find out even more because one of these two teams one or the other could wind up being home field throughout the NFC playoffs. And if the Vikings were to win Sunday, that gives them essentially a 2-game lead on all of them.
Right.
In the division, the toughest division in football, besides being the only 4 teams with winning records in one division, they also, and this hasn't happened for decades, all 4, they have the 4 best point differentials in the league. I mean, this division, who would have thought it when the season began?
I know.
That any one of these teams could wind up winning and making, all 4 could possibly make the postseason, but they do have to play each other. So there's going to be, there's going to be dings in their armors just from playing each other. But your Vikings win this one, they could be looking at 10-0.
Oh my God.
Going into the Bear game.
It's 17 game season this year?
Yep.
Does it go 18 next year or 2 years?
I don't know if they've scheduled anything, but they're trying to get it up to 18.
Yeah.
That's
Bob,
a collectively bargain thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Bob, is it bad to say that if they come out and we talk on Monday after a Vikings win, that I can fully give myself the hope and buy in that this team can actually win the Super Bowl, or is that overstepping?
Well, let's just say it's been almost 50 years since the last appearance in the Super Bowl, and there've been many teams. Oh, this is the year. Well, look, we have a kicker who's never missed all year.
Yeah,
that happened.
I've already seen that
game. Yeah.
Yeah, but this year's different, Bob.
Yeah,
this year's different.
Barry Anderson.
The curses were made to be broken, Bob.
They got the kid kicker who's doing that one hell of a job. This Reichert kid's been terrific for him. I think the things that are going to be an impact on Sunday, the Lions don't have the pass rush they had a week ago or before Aiden Hutchinson broke his leg. But the Vikings, I don't care that he's been doing limited practices, but unless something come out this morning about Aaron Jones not playing, even if he plays, if he's dealing with a hamstring injury, I don't know that they should want him to play because he could aggravate that and be done for 2 months. I mean, look how long Justin Jefferson was on the shelf with a hamstring. So, and that's why, I mean, I believe that you look at what they did this week. They brought back Cam Akers or traded for him or got him back out of Houston. That's a move to protect yourself because you don't expect to have Aaron Jones.
Yeah, and for the first time in a long time, we've got, we're trying to look big picture and down the road so we can maybe sacrifice a couple weeks here without Aaron Jones, get him healthy, and make sure that he's ready to go for
what you need to have is you need for Sam Darnold to play the way he played in those first 3 or 4 games. I mean, actually, the 4th and 5th games, he wasn't very good. Not the way he'd been in the first 3. So he needs to play like he did in those games, and they'll be fine. But you are facing maybe I'm trying to think when there has been a more complete offense than the Lions have because they have the best running back tandem in football maybe ever. With both these guys, David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are phenomenal. They would be starters on virtually every team in the NFL. If not starting, then they certainly would be. I mean, they're 1 and 1A. And then when you look at that receiver core that they have, one of the best tight ends on Laporta, obviously Amon-Ra St. Brown, one of the best receivers, who wasn't even a factor in the 47-9 win because they had so many other guys stepping up. This Jameson Williams he can kill you deep. He can kill any team. And Tim Patrick, who I think we mentioned him on when we talked Monday, he hadn't played since 2021, but he was a really good, a terrific receiver when he was healthy. And now he's a terrific third receiver. And above all else, they have the best offensive line in football. And their quarterback, I don't think he's great, but he can run that offense. Jared.
But other than that, the team sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're going to have to. This could be it could be a high-scoring game because both offenses could move the ball and put up points. the one thing you have to worry about, well, here, if the Lions get a lead of any sort, the Vikings are going to have to throw. And then we see what Darnold can do. Because look at the numbers that they've had. They've been ahead in all their games.
Yeah.
For most of the game. I mean, it's only a matter of minutes that they haven't been. So if they fall behind, we will see how Darnold can handle, even without Aiden Hutchinson, a fierce rush coming at him.
Yeah, I think outside of the Giants game being down 3-0 after their first drive or something like that, we have led in all of our games. And a lot of times it's been by a lot because we get off to such fast starts where we're up 28-0. And
I think it's of the Super Bowl era, it's the 5th best amount of time of possession of any teams. I mean, in all they looked at, I saw the top 6, the other 5 in the top 6 all went to the Super Bowl. After 5 games that had that type of dominance. So it's a big deal to be leading as much as they have been. It's just unfortunate they don't go in with Aaron Jones completely healthy.
Yeah,
that's a better team with him healthy. Obviously, he's a difference maker on that team.
Bob, you made my brain spin here, so I got to ask you all 3 this question, and the listeners too. Vote, obviously, if you wish. Do you think, as far as running backs are concerned, that Dolphins team with Zonka, Kick, and Morris, those are the 3 best running backs that ever played together?
Larry Zonka, what a pull.
Oh, man. Those 3 guys, there was one of a kind. He was this big, giant guy. Mercury Morris faster than hell, and Kick was just right up the middle.
No, I can't think of anyone that had that type of a 3-headed monster. And I mean, you have to go back almost to them to find like a better tandem. Just take 2 of the 3.
Yes.
Compare to Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. And the only thing that would have come close, and a lot of people don't realize this, Franco Harris and Rocky Bleier both ran for 1,000 yards
in
the season. And Bleier is overshadowed by Harris, but that was a 14-game season. So they were pretty good. And he was missing some toes.
I got to be honest with you. Franco Harris, one of the nicest guys I've ever talked to in my life. Just a great guy.
I agree with that because I interviewed him back when I worked in New Jersey, and he was just a gentleman.
Absolute gentleman, just a really good guy.
That Jersey upbringing.
I mean, he's no Chuck Foreman, who's the best guy of all time in the NFL.
Chuck, I hope this is the year because
you got to get him in there. My God,
he made the final 60. Or now they keep the whittle of 50, then they keep going from there. But the best thing, and I don't want people to take this wrong, the best thing that has happened for him is that Bud is not around to.
You're right.
Jim Marshall instead of Chuck.
You're right.
He blocked a lot of good players because he was obsessed about getting Jim Marshall in the Hall of Fame because he loved him. And you got to give you can't degrade Grant for loving a guy, but you can. He should not have hurt the others, and he did.
What are you gonna do? That's kind of how Bud was. Bud was a lot about Bud.
Well, he had favorites.
Yeah, he did.
He was a lot about his favorites.
I like his son. His son's a good guy.
They're all good. I mean, it's a good family. The Grant family's a nice family, and so is the Burnsy family.
Burnsy. God, I miss Burnsy.
Yeah, me too. He's something.
They came down to the effers. Remember when he said that on national television?
Okay, because I was there, and we've played that clip, and I play it on the BS show. Quite a bit, but because I'm the one, if you hear the thing, I'm the one asking, you won this game, didn't you? It was after a win that he went nuts because he was all upset about Schnelker getting booed. But you know what? He was loyal to his guy.
That's Schnelker's fault. That's Schnelker's fault. He just kept saying that. It was, God, that was a great moment.
Was it Alfred Anderson who runs out of his shoe? Or was it Fenny who ran out of his shoe?
I can't remember.
Love the guy, but
oh God, he got worked up. Just loved it.
And I mean, the unfiltered one is because oh my God, the curse words, they were flying.
No doubt about that.
Yeah. So
all right, Sandy, what you got planned for the weekend, Pally?
Viking game, of course. Today I'm gonna go helping some friends go look at a horse. I'm gonna go with them to help them look at one, and then tomorrow, You've been through this, but my daughter's into barrel racing, so we may wind up one of those. I just want to know that Sunday the decks will be cleared, and I may wind up ripping out the larynx from one of the dogs we have.
I can hear that dog. The dog wants the input. He thinks that,
Yeah.
there's a possibility that Mercury Morris was the best of all time.
He that threesome was phenomenal.
They were incredibly
And
good.
Sanka wasn't just a brute.
No,
I mean,
nope.
the guy could run.
Yep.
So that was good. And by the way, I heard you guys talking about it. Have any of you heard the clips from that Al Smith dinner? And
I've seen some.
Oh,
some
from
stuff,
last.
yeah.
Is that last night?
yes. Okay. Anyone who is talking about Trump not having his faculties, I mean, he was terrific at this thing. I know that it's scripted, but he was. I mean, and the shots that he took at Tim Walz.
Jim Gaffigan was great.
Gaffigan was taking shots at Kamala.
He was. He was terrific. I thought it was really, really good, man.
Well,
That's what they're there for,
That thing she did, she never should have done a video. She should have been there. It's like the first time, I don't know, ever, but both candidates were not in the audience.
Since 1980, the last one that skipped it, Bob.
Yep. Oh, Walter Mondale.
Who got how many states when he ran for president?
One.
Minnesota. Reagan got the other 49 states. I mean, you talk about getting your ass. Walter Mondale hated my guts. God, did he hate me? It was kind of fun, actually.
Well, you know what's unfortunate, because I got to know her. If Eleanor had, if she had ever gone into politics, she would have been a terrific politician, because she really believed in what she believed. She wasn't she would not be a party line person.
No, she was I didn't know her really well, but she was very pleasant. But you could tell she'd been through some rough patches, man. Just by the look in her eye, she had that very sad look in her eye all the time.
Well, one time, I mean, again, we knew her through showing horses, and
right.
And there was one time her dad, I was talking to her, and her dad showed up at an event, and it was like she became like a 9-year-old girl, worried about her dad's approval, and that he would be okay. And but I mean, she was just a wonderful person, and so sad that she died so young.
And she did die really young. Was she living? No, did Hawk die before her? Because those two lived together at the end, I think.
No, they didn't. She was married to a guy.
Oh, she was. Okay.
Yeah, she was. She had.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, because she had a brain tumor that they thought they had, was under control, and then it resurfaced a few years later.
That's too bad.
It is absolutely too bad, because she was really a wonderful person. But
that's what I hear.
Anyway.
All right, Palomino, we'll try to have a great weekend, and we'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Hey, I'm watching a Viking game, and another Tulsa King comes out. How could I not have a bad weekend?
That show, Bob, now you're going to be on for another half hour. That show is phenomenal, and
it's the best of all the Taylor Sheridans, no question in my mind.
He's phenomenal in that thing.
And,
you're making me a little bit uneasy.
Some of it's over the top, but that scene, Tom, for people who've seen, if you haven't, you got to get to Paramount Plus. The scene where he takes his 2 grandsons to this private school. It's over the top, but it's hilarious.
He's very good.
Yeah.
Very good. All right, Sandy, talk to you next week, Pally.
All right, see you guys.
We shall take a break. Tim Lammer is with us right after this. Mike Lindell of MyPillow employees want to thank all our listeners for all your continued support. When Mike started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, they now have hundreds of products some of you may not even know about. For example, the brand new 4-pack dish towel sets, just $25. 6-pack towel sets, just $25. Bed sheets for as low as $25. Check out their overstock and closeout sale and save up to 80% off select items. You're looking for a good night's sleep? Take advantage of the classic collection on a variety of MyPillows for as low as $9.88. These amazing offers won't last long, so order now. Just go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code TOM.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant. always on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold's do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombernardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Timmy Lammers, brought to you by Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury lawyers seeking justice for the injured. Contact Bradshaw and Bryant at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. That's minnesotapersonalinjury.com. So Timmy's not quite ready to go yet?
Nope. I got him back here now. There we go.
No, I've been ready to go for 15 minutes.
You yell at your wife that loudly too, you'll be in prison if you do.
No, listen. If you don't want me on at 9 o'clock, let's set it for 9:10. Okay? Because it's just BS every single week. Okay, I mean,
you're correct.
Oh, yeah. I'm pissed off because it's like every week, and it's like, you know what? Bring me in the damn conversation if you're talking about Tulsa King. I know I've seen that show. You know, I mean, Jesus Christ, 9 or 9:10. Because what this does is puts me in a rush to get done so Kristen can be on. I don't think Kristen likes sitting around either. So let's just do it. Sorry, man. I'm just, this has been on and on and on and on every single week for as long as I can remember.
So you think that the two producers are stabbing you right in the back? Is that what you think?
I think the two producers just need to bring me in. All right. I love you guys. You know that I do. But Friday is a crazy day for me. And to log in, hey, you got to be in at 5:02 and to sit around for 15 minutes. I don't have time for that.
Well,
so if you want me to, I can rearrange my schedule so I'm on at 9:10 as long as I know I'm coming in at 9:10.
Okay, how about this? Who looks crabbier, you or Mrs. Frankenstein over your right shoulder?
She is.
Yeah, there you go.
Look,
Don't worry about it anymore.
Tom, look.
Yes.
I know you get pissed off about things too, and I apologize. I do.
No. We've been friends forever.
Yeah, I know.
It's just, for a minute there, actually.
It's just that I'm under enormous stress every single Friday, and
no, you don't need that. What time do you want to be on?
Well, I'm just saying, either bring me on at 9 or 9:10. Make up your mind, and then to make sure at least I get my 10 minutes.
Okay, so that means whoever's on before you has to shut up.
Well, or bring me in. I mean, it's that simple. I mean,
that's true. Why don't we do that? That sounds good.
Just bring me in at 9 o'clock.
I mean, because you have to be up by 9:10 or 9:20.
No, I mean, I could be on till 9:15. Look, my whole thing is I respect Kristen's time, and I don't want to go over that time.
Well, let's not hit on Kristen here now. I see what you're doing.
Yeah. No, seriously. I mean, come on. It's, let's
take care of it.
Get this arranged, okay?
Okay, Kathy. I mean, Tim.
I see what you're doing there.
No, I understand that. No, if you got it, you're on schedule. So we need to get you up by 1/4 every day except for today.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes it's a little looser than others, but today is really, really tight with everything I got to get done. So
you have to be off by 20 for sure.
Let's do 9 minutes as long as I'm not holding Kristen back.
And Timmy,
from now,
I'm picking up what you're saying. We'll make sure we got it straightened out moving forward. Don't worry.
All right. You pills. No, I'm kidding. I'm the pill.
Don't let Tim
I bitch about stuff like this, and then I feel real bad afterwards. I do feel bad. I don't like doing it.
Prick, so I understand.
I am a prick. I never denied that.
I never denied. See, that's one good thing about arguing with your friends on the air, because you can be honest and it doesn't matter.
I am. I'm a pain in the ass. I know I am.
I like this report so far. I got to be honest with you.
Okay. So anyway, Smile 2. Did you see Smile 1?
I did. I didn't care for it.
It's a creepy ass, creepy movie. This parasitic invisible force, this curse, inhabits this woman's brain in the first one. Sosie Bacon, Nepo baby, plays a psychiatrist who, after she witnesses this horrible incident involving a patient, she is invaded by this force, and all of a sudden she goes crazy. And the force will only show itself through visions, and the visions generally are people with this maniacal smile on their faces. Eventually, these people go crazy and they take themselves deep. Well, spoiler, at the end of 1, Sosie's character takes herself deep. 2, the guy that got the curse tries to find a way to get rid of it. Doesn't go well. It's passed along. Finally, it lands with this singer played by this terrific actress, Naomi Scott. And she was in Aladdin. She was Jasmine. And she's a pop superstar. I kind of look at her as a cross between Lady Gaga and Pink. She's huge and everything, but she's coming off this year where she was in this horrific accident, got horribly injured in this accident the year before. Her boyfriend got killed, and she's got addiction issues on top of that. So all of a sudden, she starts experiencing this. So she's going down the same path, but there's this guy who claims he can help her get rid of it. So see the movie for 3 reasons. A, Naomi Scott. This is one of the best performances on screen all year. You will not believe that the emotional and physical ringer that this woman puts herself through. It's an amazing performance. B, it's freaky as all hell. It's creepy. It's scary. C, this guy. And I know you'll be able to find a picture of him because it's in the press kit. His name is Ray Nicholson, the son of Jack Nicholson.
Really?